Have a new welding project. We have this great big star for Christmas time here and been sitting there, so we need to do a little bit of work on some of the legs down here. Well, the shadows are just making it look kind of weird here, but we're gonna do some welding on it and we'll be able to put it up somewhere, but we got to put some feet on here so we can stick it in the ground, because right now there's really nothing to hold it in place other than these two back pieces right back here where you would put a spike into the ground. So we're going to do something so we can anchor it down so it doesn't fall. So that's our next project. We're going to do a little welding on there, and we'll come back once we get the welder out and all set up, ready to go. We have the star. We're using the truck to hold 2 points of it. We have the point we're working on here. We got this clamped down so it doesn't move. And then we're going to use a little angle grinder here with a little wire brush on it. We're going to clean all that up because you can't weld to it if it's got any rust on it or paint or anything. So we're going to clean that up. So we can go ahead and start. All right, we got that one side done, so we flipped it over. So the side that we just got through doing is on the downside. So we're going to clean this and get this all cleaned up. Not really what that hammer is intended for, but it's working.
The weld.
So we got the second side of this is all done. There's a little bit of rust still in there, but we'll work on that. If we're not welding up this far, we won't have to worry about it, but we're going to weld a plate on the bottom of here, a little flat plate like on this one, so there's something for it to sit on there. And I'm not sure if we're going to cut down an old mower blade or a piece of angle that we have, or U-channel. We'll figure it out once we get that far, but first thing is we're going to clean these two things up. Now we're doing the other side. We've done the bottom side of this one and that one over there. So now we're going to put this on here, and then we're going to do that one. See how that's kind of loose. We might need to move it back a little bit, a little more secure.
Well, it's because the whole thing is bowed.
Yeah. So we'll see. If we have too much trouble with it, we'll go ahead and anchor it down again. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut off of this. Not sure what this is for, but we're going to cut off a piece right about here. For one leg, and then we'll cut off another piece over here for another leg. I'm not sure if we're going to cut this out or not, but we'll cut this one off for sure. And then we may go ahead, I think we'll go ahead and cut this off here, cut this off again where the holes are at, and then cut off another piece. So now we have a good solid piece to weld to. So that's what we're going to do. We got it all clamped down to the table so it won't move, because it's nice and well, as solid as the table is. But we're going to use this diamond cutoff blade, and we'll go from there. So we're going to start cutting it. There we have the piece. We decided to go ahead and use this on here. So what we noticed is this is not flat, it's kind of point. So we're going to kind of make it flat across there, and what we're going to do is we'll put this up against here so we have a little bit more to weld to down at the bottom. I'm going to have to clean the side of that. So that's what we'll do. We'll clean the inside of a couple of these, and then that's what we're going to weld them. I wasn't sure if I was going to put it in the center, you know, like this, and weld it that way, but I figure that's not going to be really solid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this clear up here, and we'll weld it that way. But we're going to cut this off so it's flat, because this goes on this way. So we'll grind a little bit more in here. All right, now we have the plates all ready to go, all cut down, all ready to go. We've got that cut down. Now what we're doing is we're going to set this where it wants to go, and then we'll put a couple of tacks on it just to hold it in place. And then because if I try and guess which way it goes, I might be off a little bit, So that's what I'm going to do, is go ahead and put a couple tacks on here and on each one, and then I can put it back up on our bench to finish welding it. Have this side tacked up and that side tacked up. Now we're going to go ahead and finish the welding on it, and then we'll be all done, and we can spray some primer on it and some paint on it, to at least some primer on it. We have the feet welded on there now, so they're all welded. They're not structural, nothing, so they just need a hold. So now when it sets up in the grass, the front legs. Hey, now that we completed this project, that's another project out of our way here. It started out today at, was it 55 degrees. It's now down to about 44, 43, somewhere in there. It's dropped 11 degrees since I started this project. So it's getting cold. It's supposed to get down into the teens tonight here in Nebraska. So this is kind of the last day maybe for the year that I could have come out and done any welding, because when it's really cold, it's kind of hard to weld, because you're trying to fight in the cold temperature as well as the cold metal, and then you're heating it up. And then if you have to do any drilling on it, now then with the hot and the cold, now then you work hard on it, and then it don't drill very well. But fortunately, I don't have to do any drilling on this one. You know, some of the other projects I've had to do where they're out in the cold, and I was using the acetylene one time, and it was I had to go a bigger tip because it was just so cold out, and then had to do some drilling on it. Well, by the time I'd done the welding and cutting, and it hardened it so much that it was real hard drilling. So
How'd you get outside?
that's our cat decided to come out and join us. I think he come out, yeah, he come out when I come out last time, I think. So anyway, wait till the next video. I have more of these. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of these videos where I'm working on different projects around the home and just kind of doing whatever needs to be fixed. Some things I don't know how to do, so I'm figuring that out as I go. So as I'm figuring it out, maybe it helps you on not having the same struggles on the project you're working on. I've always been working on my own stuff since I was heck, in high school, teenager back in the 70s. I would work on my own stuff because, you know, you're trying to find somebody to work on it does the way you want it. It's easier to learn how to do it yourself. And I've been able to buy the tools, learn how to do it cheaper than I pay somebody else to do it. And you know what? I still have the tools left to do the job again. So yeah, it's money in your pocket. You get to save money, and it's fun doing all this kind of stuff. You know, just sitting behind a desk can be okay, but you know, making stuff is a whole lot more fun, and fixing stuff, that can be a lot of fun. So stay tuned for some other videos. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you get notified whenever I post a new video. Thanks for watching.